Today we'll try to understand how to work with online price. What does it mean on efficient online price? And what are their establishment and developing on the e-commerce? How we can use our maybe some platform possibilities and opportunities. What does it mean, the new shelf for consumers, and how we really need to work with new customers on a new wave of new era of sales through the e-commerce. Okay. A few words about myself. I'm Julia Beregovaya. I work with Competera from the autumn of 2019. Actually, all my expertise, the biggest part of expertise, I built in Nielsen. I worked as a sales effectiveness leader for the price and promotion projects with the biggest manufacturer, international, like Nestle, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, GDE, Mondelez, and so on. Our focus was on to build the strategy and tactics to raise the sales, to optimize the costs, and to understand how to work with all, I can say, for my countries that I was responsible as Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Belarus are not very easy. And with all this crisis period that we had, we tried to be as much as possible effective in the product lines and in supporting mode. Actually, after that, I had a few years with a business development manager with a company, IT company, that developing applications for the research to make it very easy to catch the consumer opinion, to understand the behavior, and in some kind to work with this big data and to match how our consumers, what they think and what they do in the real life. Also, I was as a head of marketing research in the big agriculture company, and I lead all their stuff for the researchers, like qualitative and quantitative researchers. And finally, now I'm with Competera and trying to help our clients to build the most efficient pricing journey and to raise their sales, and sometimes maybe not even rise, but to save some resources to develop another area, not only like pricing, but also with promo and assortment. So what does it mean to be effective during the crisis? By the way, you can put, if you have any questions, maybe comments, you can put in chat and we will go through after the session will end, so we will have a time for that. So what does it mean to be effective? Actually, I distinguish some parts on their journey to the really effective e-commerce and online price. So actually to move online, because I think it's not now a question to be or not to be. Then you need to understand what is your focus there, what is your strongest maybe part, and we will talk soon about this. Another part, when you understand that you have already established e-commerce and you understand your place on the market, but you need to really to support this position, to make it stronger, and to really to understand deeper how to work with your business there. Not so maybe often are in the primary business plan for e-commerce, but you need to think over how you will scale up your business for different region, maybe through different type of businesses, areas. So scale up is really important nowadays to think on the next step, not only as for now. And actually develop the channel, because now e-commerce is not like some part and not on their last row, yeah, but it's really very important and priority, maybe not one but the second. So to move online, so now to be or not to be is no longer the question. I tried to find some maybe figures on how much does it take really importance of the revenue for the e-commerce now, and maybe some trends and forecasting to the end of the year, next year. But it was very funny when I just checked some articles that was published in the early 2020. Now they're changed or just deleted or edited by some new, because no one doesn't know what what will be tomorrow and what part of the business will go through e-commerce. It is sometimes at 10%, 20%. In some cases and some domains, it could be even half of the businesses there. So really, it's not a question to enter or not to enter their e-commerce. You need to be there. Another question, how to enter there. And from my perspective, as the same as the offline business and each business in retailer, you need to figure out how you want to position yourself and your business model. So in this case, I just try to split it in three. All for all, it's something like the biggest one of the wide assortment. It needs to cover the biggest part of consumers. So auditory coverage will need to be the highest as possible because you want to have the highest turnover. Of course, in this case, you will have quite a big number of competitors and they will push you. So sometimes it's not like very high margin business, but the high turnover and volume and revenue. And you can use as a basic model of the platforms, the e-commerce, or maybe even some marketplaces, because you have already like established model and you just enter with some condition. But it's not good if you want to build your own brand and perception of your consumers that it is your own products and maybe some service model and some advantages on that you can bring on your own platform. Another way, it's like best offering or best price. Sometimes we understand that on different part of assortment, some may be unique, sometimes it is exclusive or not, but you can offer the best price. In this case, it depends on what you have on the supply, yes, on the prices that you can propose. And another case, you need to really monitor the competitors that now are really appearing on the market quite fast, and to understand how to position against them, because if you are guarantee your best price, you really need to be best price in that. So it is, in this case, you need to be very fast and always on monitor with what is going on the market. And the third one is something like exclusive range, or even in some kind it is a luxury premium, but it's something that you are really want to spend time for you to have some unique assortment, to have some unique platform that really, as you are like used to. So you have your ordinary store when you just want to buy something essential, and you have this luxury store or premium store or whatever where you feel yourself quite good. It could be something like for if you have like children, some very good children for baby assortment. Sometimes it is something on fishing for men and so on. So it could be really wide range, but you understand, do you have such assortment to propose and how you can develop in further. The next step is to define your focus. What does it mean? We, all of us, I think we remember that we have 4P in marketing: product, price, place, promo. Here I try to highlight, to underline for e-commerce. It is also price. It is also assortment and product, but in the meaning of what like range do you propose. It is simplicity and speed. So when you try to understand your opportunities and your priorities right now to be really effective and successful in e-commerce, try to measure what do you have right now. Do you have the best price and you can really propose, so you need to put focus on that, or maybe you have very good assortment range that and supplying with very maybe speed up, and you can guarantee that your product will be at your home, in your hand, in 1 day, in 2 hours or so. And of course, simplicity, it is both of purchase like path end to end. When you enter, for example, your platform, consumer need to understand and know that he will, in 10 minutes, he will have in his basket everything that he wants. So it is, in some kind, it works quite good. And if you understand that you have these resources, it's like technical resources and platforms, okay, put it as a focus. You can't bring everything at once, it's normal. But from the very beginning, or maybe on some stage of development, You just need to highlight what is your strong part and to put all your efforts there, and in some maybe time to develop other. And the second step, it is how to make your position even more stronger on the market, to win their market share, to win, for example, margin. So it really depends on their business model that you have and domain that you're working with, on the category and segments. And here we also figure out with our platform and our clients that three things are the most important: to try to segment all your assortment that you have now, and to distinguish what other items are really true KPI for you that bring your sales up. It could be in turnover, some KPIs, if your key metric is turnover. It could be traffic, it could be revenue, or even margin. So in this case, you just need to put more analytic tools, platform tools to distinguish all these products. So actually in e-commerce, it's very interesting because it's something not the same as a target product and assortment in offline, because you have different consumer type and auditory, and sometimes it's really even more difficult to catch your consumer here, but sometimes you just bring another that you even don't think for that. So also ranging in regarding for the pricing elasticity or sensitivity is very crucial, because if I'm entering your platform and I'm sensitive to the absolute price change, so I'm looking on, is it like 9.99 or 10 and 0.9? So I'm sensitive to the absolute price change. So this threshold is really crucial for me. In some cases, for another assortment, it is really more important to have comparison to the competitor. So I don't remember what is the price, and I don't know maybe what is the right price for this product. So I want to compare what are the other proposition on the market. So then I try to check with the competitor. And in this case, when in offline, we need to go just another store physically, or to check maybe to spend some time during you're in the store, then just it's really consuming. But in case of e-commerce, you just click two buttons and you have all the page with all the competitors and prices. So this is really crucial to understand your absolute elasticity, price elasticity on the products assortment, and relative to the competitors, to match what other products are on some maybe regulations on RRP. Maybe you have just all these restrictions, and to manage it in another way. So you need to understand the same as you have shelf in the offline stores, and it is differentiated. So the same here, the same situation here, but maybe not so stick to the physical place, but stick to how consumer reacts on the prices and on the product that you are proposing them. Second part, it is evaluate who are your real competitors. So after you understand what are the list of the products are really impact on your sales in your assortment, from this list, just need to understand what are from the range of 10, 20, I don't know, 30 competitors that now on the market really influence on particular one or two products in your assortment. This also based on our knowledge, when we for example, have competitive data tracking monitor for 10 or 20, in the reality, when we just put another calculations, only 3, maximum 4 is impacting on each your product. So you will understand what types of marketplaces or direct competitors are really influenced and what part of the assortment of each segmentation. And the third part, it is of course promo support. We can't do anything without communication, without some additional discounts and giving benefits to your consumers. But also in e-commerce, it's something not so similar to offline, as range of the product that are sensitive to promo could be different. And it is very good if you have an understanding what are the products are really highly responsible to each discount for example, price, or some promo offers, or some packs, or even some maybe servicing, as you can put additional as shipment and so on. Also, you need to be very carefully with promo history, because actually your consumer could find all the history for the product and understand that it's not true 40% of discount, and you really, he could feel himself that it's not true and not to enter your platform again. So maybe it is also more difficult than in offline, because in offline not every like consumer could remember. Yes, the tracking for the promo trends, for the history of the prices is always for maybe some premium products or for big purchase, but still it could be. For essential, or I don't know, up to $10, €10, of course, we will not track all the history. And what are the interesting things that in e-commerce you need to take into account the basket size, because when you are in offline, you are just purchasing that you put product in your basket and that's all, and you don't know what is the full amount, and you could be very surprised when you are like standing at the cashier and look on the monitor and trying to understand, is it okay, and you have enough money to pay for that. And in case of e-commerce, you always control the number of products in the basket and the full amount. So this could be additional support and maybe benefits if you will, for example, take over for like, I don't know, €100. So you have something additional benefits in servicing, in shipment, in maybe some discount for the next purchase, whatever. So it is another like way of working with e-commerce and perception of the price. So in the end, when your consumer maybe feel himself not so good as the purchase like amount is quite big, you can communicate to him and give him something in advance. For the part when we are talking about how to manage all these changes that are appearing in e-commerce, in online sales. As I told, now it's really so, of course, our platform could be, but other platforms and solutions that support all their managing for the prices, for the shipment, logistic, and all the things with working with the stock level. So it is automatically. So you don't need to spend like much time on that, or to have, for example, 4 or 5 managers to support all this stuff manually, or just to look in the different platforms. You can, it's not the case that you need to justify this person. No, they can use their like free time for something additional, to work with the assortment, to work with the promo proposition in a good place. But still, so complex management is really now on the first priority, when you can work within one platform with everything, and you can see what in the short term all your like actions, how it could be reflected in the like near future forecasting, not like months, not like half a year, but every week, every 2 weeks, and it's sometimes every day. You can see your metrics, and just to manage to work with it and find the best price, so together with all the tools that you have inside your like company and your business. And the last one on understanding how to work with the channel, with the almost established new channel with all their rules, not maybe sometimes simple rules, but it is not like linear for the consumer, and for you to bring your consumer from offline to online or back, or just to attract if you have only e-commerce business. So now every consumer, every customer interacts with different channels and different platforms. And you need to remember that every place where you touch with the consumer, it's your place of advertising, and it's your place with the communication. So targeting of the audience, what you want to bring, is really crucial. And of course, to think of the cost of every consumer. So how much does it take to bring you to your platform? Is that right person? Because if I'm like premium and I want to buy something over some like price threshold, and I I was bringed by the like path of advertising to your platform, and you proposing some very, very basic essential products, it's not right, because you spent your money, but you brought not the right person to your platform. Another case, so when you are not able to spend maybe a lot of money, but you just can enter to the platform to see what are like on the proposition, and maybe to put in mind that if you will have like next month some additional money, you can buy something from that platform. Just developing digital scenarios, because you need to be very flexible in that. You need to bring some new knowledge and new expertise to your consumers to make them happy, and not to be overcomplicated with all the stuff that you have during your purchase like path on your platform. So be simple with with your assortment, with your consumer, with your prices, as it's really global trends on simplicity. When your customer just want to spend, I don't know, 10-15 minutes and to grab all that he wants, the same as we have in our everyday purchase in our for the grocery, for maybe some non-food categories and so on. In the end, to make some conclusions, I'd like to say that you really need to know your consumer, and as the numbers are saying, that 74% of consumers are really make sales more than in one channel, and it is like already it is like basic. And more than 30% of consumers make purchase through more than 3 channels. So they are really changing the place, and they don't have maybe stick to one place. So now it is really easy to convert, to transfer some traffic from another channels to you. Assortment segmentation, as I said, so the potential is almost 20% of products either or underperformed or overrated. What does it mean? So when your vendor or supply just want to put additional discount on the product, but it is not worth, because it's not like sensitive to the promotion, in that like it will not bring so much sales over it. And sometimes some products are just not supported, so they lie in something there, and you don't even understand that you need to put on advertising or in the first row of the range that you're proposing. So this is because really some assortment is overrated, some are really underestimated in the potential of the sales and the growth that could bring to your business. Management in automatization and the scale up. So use every that you can effort for your sources, for the platform, for some new tools, just to make more resources on different things, and not to stick with the manual work, and not to make some wrong decision. So really just make, how to say, development and future help you. And increase value in your product, value in your proposition, because really it is almost a third of shoppers just didn't like end their purchase because they're not satisfied on all their like platform usability, of their experience, of the personalization, because actually personalization is also like after simplicity is trends that need to be supported, because I really want to make it like purchase for me, and it's created for me and I like it. So the service, there may be additional benefits and so on. And three parts of how you can measure and try to feel all your purchase through e-commerce. It's time for beneficial purchase, for essential purchase. Yes, so you have some time, you have a list of the products, you have a certain amount of money. Okay, I want just to be very, very effective in that. Time for yourself, when you can spend just like lying on the, I don't know, on the sofa, or maybe some chill out during your break in the office and so on. So you have some time for yourself and you want to bring something good, to buy something good. So it is need to be in complex with really what are the behavior and what are the feelings on during my purchase. And time to save money, it's really will be also important, because when you have a little number, like amount of money, and you want to spend it very efficient, so it's also, if you will underline this, that during your purchase here, you will like save your money, and you will take all that you need. So it is also will be very highly appreciated with the consumers, I think, in the near future, of course. So it will not end tomorrow, and it will not end even in half a year or a year.